On Australia Day, we're generally used to lauding the best and fairest that this great country has to offer. Of course, sporting heroes play a very enduring role in our history and folklore, and in retirement, usually they still play a very influential role and hold a very iconic place in our national psyche. There can be no doubt the golden era of tennis in this country produced some enduring icons. Rod Laver, Ken Rosewall, John Newcombe, Tony Roche, Fred Stolle, Roy Emerson, Pat Rafter, Yvonne Cawley and Margaret Court are all included in that pantheon of world-class players who strutted the world stage winning Grand Slam tournaments. Before I give Margaret Court a serve, let me say this. As the record holder of Grand Slam tournaments, 24 singles crowns, 2 more than Steffi Graf, there is little doubt that Court was a champion player of cosmic proportions, and her feats on the tennis courts of the world certainly entitled her to have Margaret Court Arena named after her at the Melbourne Tennis Centre. However, Court apparently suffers from the same relevance deprivation that usually besets embittered politicians, such as former Prime Minister Paul Keating, and her unhelpful, discriminatory and acerbic comments on homosexuality unfortunately overshadowed the opening week of the Australian Open Grand Slam with their negativity. Her caustic and typically homophobic comments that you get from the great majority of Christian outfits these days brought a quick response from both Tennis Australia and the WTA. Tennis Australia was so incensed by her anti-gay comments that it moved immediately and issued a statement which said in part, her personal views are her own and are definitely not shared by Tennis Australia. The statement went on to say, we concur wholeheartedly with the WTA, who stated that all human beings, regardless of gender, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation or otherwise, should be treated equally. Since her retirement from tennis, Court has established her own Victory Life Centre Church in Perth. After the intense response from Tennis Australia, the WTA and several players, Court tried to backpedal, saying that her comments were misunderstood and that she has nothing against homosexual people. Gee, thanks. She made an even bigger fool of herself by condescendingly going on to say that she actually helped homosexuals overcome, and going on to say that we have people in our church who have been homosexual, who are now married. This nonsense brought a sharp response from both psychologists and former members of her church. Let's get it right here. This outburst is not the first from Court. She has made several previous anti-gay comments that have been discriminatory and damaging. As I said, tennis feats have certainly earned her a place in the upper echelon of Australian sporting greats. It's just a pity she lacks the class, guile and humanity to join most of the former greats of their sport who live their retirement or post-sporting life universally accepted and lauded and behave in an even-handed and exemplary manner. It may come as a further shock to Court to know that many more people, even on a pro rata basis, overcome Christianity than they do their homosexuality. In fact, Miss Court may even get a lot of people to utter a prayer for all the wrong reasons. She's enough to make the average bear ask God that he be saved from his followers.